You can have everything great, but if you don't have good people, performance is going to suffer. So I take it to the next level. Healthy people is the most important part.
On this episode of Racing on the Job, see what it takes to keep pit crew members and drivers operating at top speed. Explore the human performance side of the sport with our athletic department as they help team members prevent injury and win races.
As a NASCAR team, the human performance component of motorsports has, in the last 20 years, become a very critical part, where we started to see the competitive advantage you can get by running fast pit stops. And so we looked at it in the same way that a professional football team or basketball team would look at that and getting the best athletes. And we're to the point today where if you walked into Joe Gibbs Racing or the Charlotte Hornets, you'd probably see the same staff, the same coordination of the different disciplines, from the coaching, from our engineering and data collection, from our medical side.
The need for athletic trainers in NASCAR, I guess, sometimes can be confusing for people, because I think a lot of people don't understand that these pit crew members are athletes. They are professional athletes working at the highest level in their sport. So just like any other professional athlete, our athletes need the same kind of care and attention to help them perform at their best.
On a routine basis, we try to communicate, because there are different disciplines that provide different things, and if we don't communicate, then we're not going to get the outcome we want, which is healthy, sustainable athletes that can make it from February to November and hopefully result in a championship.
It's interesting because fitness is the one area everyone has a lot of opinions, right? Everyone wants to do it a certain way. So the hard part is trying to meld all the different philosophies, all the different ways to train, and to make it into a program that benefits the guys. They might not always like it, but is it helping them outside? That's what the constant checks and evaluations are. So constantly working with the training room. Where are we getting some injuries at? Is it redundant amongst the guys? Are we missing something? And you're constantly working on what we have to do to stay ahead of the curve, right? Because if what we're doing is the results aren't yielding better pit stops, or if we have guys getting hurt with the same things over and over again, well then we got to keep looking, because we haven't found the right answer yet.
So the purpose of having an athletic trainer with the team is that they have someone with them every day, helping them through any physical needs that they have. We're here to bridge the gap between an injury happening and them having to go to the doctor or to see someone outside of the building. So a lot of the stuff that happens here day to day, we can manage ourselves, but we also have a PA that comes in once a week. We have a physical therapist that comes in and does treatments once a week. And we also have a massage therapist that comes in once a week and helps treat the guys with us. So here at the facility, we work with the performance athletes, from the drivers to the pit crew members to the motocross team, on anything from chronic injuries to new injuries from the race on Sundays, recovery work. So that could mean anything from using our Normatec recovery boots to ice, cryotherapy, our hot and cold tubs, anything that really just helps them feel better to get their week started, to help them perform their best throughout the week.
We try to take a multidisciplinary approach to our physical training here, and Coach Alepa does a good job using the equipment we have here, and we pretty much touch on every body part here, so we're probably looking at 20 some machines so we can specifically get to each body part. We have a functional movement area now where we try to look at the movements involved in a pit stop and train those in a more of our functional training area. And then outside we put in the athletic field for primarily to get the guys, they're on hard surfaces, concrete, asphalt all the time, so we work on our speed and agility and conditioning work out on our football field outside.
My main focus is pit crews, and then I help Daniel as well. Sometimes even Daniel will have to wait, because pit crew is my primary job here, to make sure they get their workouts, make sure they do all their correctives. So we use the weight room to help, I call bulletproof their body. So you have your general strength, you do specifically for each guy individually. Through our movement screen, we try and find where each guy has 2 or 3 different weaknesses. that we can then attack and work on in the weight room. If we didn't have that, it'd be hard to guide the program to find out what they really need to work on, because we could miss simple things that would hurt them outside.
So before the race, we help the pit crew members prepare their bodies for performance. So that's anything from stretching, helping them warm up, to actual treatments on current or chronic injuries that they're dealing with.
Healthy people is the most important part, and keeping our athletes healthy is critical to performance. If you're not healthy, you're not going to perform well, whether that's sleep issues, hydration issues. Keeping people healthy is important. So getting good people and keeping them healthy allows us to sustain performance, and that's critical. It's not whether you can do it on one day, it's whether you can sustain performance over a long period of time.
With the weight room, like I said, you have all the different people and their philosophies, and so like I said, the challenge is finding the best program for Joe Gibbs Racing. Not what all the other teams are doing, what helps JGR have the best pit crews. Ultimately, that's the most important, is are we creating and performing the best out back? This is supplement to that. And so it's easy for me to say this is more important, this is my turf, this is more important than anything we know. It's a constant communication with the training staff to say, what do we need to do and evolve? So that's the thing, it's unique about this. You gotta make sure you communicate and evolve day in and day out with what's going on, because otherwise you have your head in the sand and you get passed by.